Hello, and welcome to Landing the Role, Strategies for Internships and Full-Time Jobs. My name is Julie Hutt. I am the Career Services Manager in the College of Information and Communications. Applying for jobs or internships is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And so everyone is in a different part of their search, whether that's you're just getting started, you could be actively applying, maybe waiting to hear back, or you've already accepted an offer. No matter where you are in the process, you as students and maybe future alum, if you're graduating in May, have access to a lot of valuable resources. I have reviewed hundreds of resumes, and a lot of times when students are in the job or internship search, the first thing I like to ask is whether or not I can take a look at their resume, because 97% of Fortune 500 companies rely on what's called an applicant tracking system, or ATS. And so I briefly kind of wanted to go through a few of the tips and tricks for ATS and getting through a larger company's ATS system. So making sure that you're using keywords. So, when you're submitting your resume through an online application, it goes straight into an ATS database, and really kind of think of that as a Google search for candidates. And so if a recruiter is looking for a data analyst, they will enter data analyst in their search criteria in their ATS system. And so make sure that you read the job description very carefully and you're using the same verbiage as you apply for positions, particularly within your resume. Making sure that you're using standard formatting. Make sure that you save a copy of your resume as a Word document and also a PDF. Label sections clearly on your resume to include education, experience, any language experience, or leadership. And really making sure that we're using action verbs. These are descriptive, achievement-oriented bullet points that are written for each of your experiences. Some additional quick tips is making sure your resume is one page. Make sure that you're keeping it updated. Your resume is a living, breathing document that should be edited and refined often. Again, going back to those accomplishment-based bullet points, making sure that we have at a minimum 3 for each of your experiences that you have listed, making sure those are quantifiable accomplishments, and making sure that they are in proper tense. So if it is a current position, that is written in present tense, and if it is a past opportunity, that is written in past tense. Your resume really is an opportunity to brag on yourself, so keep it simple. Put all your energy in making it simple, accomplishment-based statements that's easy to read and review, written in chronological order, and no less than a 10-point font. Recruiters are going to spend anywhere from 8 to 10 seconds reviewing your resume. So clarity and simple formatting is important. I do think it's important to get feedback from faculty and industry leaders. One tip I like to share with students is we are so universally ingrained to review documents top to bottom, left and right. And so when you're reviewing your own resume, try reviewing it from the bottom top, because sometimes that's an opportunity for you to maybe catch some errors. It's time to level up your resume. So if you are an undergraduate student, please make sure you're keeping high school in your yearbook and not including that on your resume. And then for those of you that are graduate students, you may not be including all of your undergraduate experience, particularly from your alma mater. So really focus on that graduate level experience, whether that's through grants or research. But again, if you're a teaching assistant, making sure that you're including that graduate level experience on your resume. These are the top 5 biggest mistakes that I continue to see on resumes. One is being typos, and keep in mind that spell check is not foolproof. So, here's a few examples that I actually recently saw in student resumes. Again, keeping it to one page. I know sometimes it's hard to to eliminate an experience. But if you keep a master resume with everything and all your accomplishments and experiences, then you can tailor a resume to one page specific to the position that you're applying to. Again, I advise students to stay away from creative formatting. Now, if you're a visual communication student, that might be different. But even now, a lot of times employers want to have access to LinkedIn profiles. They want access to your portfolios, to your reels. And so that is where that creativity is going to come in, not necessarily on the formatting of your resume. Again, making sure you're not sharing confidential information or exaggerating on your resume, particularly on those bullet points, and then making sure that we're being honest. As a result of my short time here in the CIC, I have created both an undergraduate and a graduate level template that is ATS friendly. So if you would like access to either of these options, please feel free to email me and I would be happy to share that with you. Again, these are editable documents that are ATS friendly. So you simply go in and you make the edits as described in the template that I would send you. I do spend a lot of time on making sure that we're writing quantifiable bullet points. A really good way of thinking about this and framing it is writing what you did, how you did it, why you did it, and what was the result or the impact. Here are a few examples of accomplishment-based statements. So you'll notice in red are the skills that were developed. Typically, these are your action verbs. And then you'll notice the value that you added to the project, to the experience, to the job. But again, making sure that we're writing accomplishment-based statements that have been quantified. Remember that the application process is a marathon and not a sprint. And so I've recently created a tracking document to support students throughout the application process. Now, this tool is designed to help streamline your job or internship search, and it allows you to prioritize opportunities based on deadlines and really helps you stay organized. And so I typically coach and encourage students to dedicate at least 2 to 4 hours per week reviewing job postings and tracking deadlines. This document, again, that I'm happy to share with students, serves as a central place really to track all your applications that you've submitted, record outreach to companies and contacts, monitor the status of your applications that you've submitted, and then also kind of note the interview progress or decisions, even rejections. I always say a rejection is just getting you closer to the right job, to the right position. Again, this template is really just an efficient way to manage your search, monitor your progress, and make informed adjustments as you go through the process. This next slide is really helping students starting to conduct company research because it's so critical and it's a critical part of a successful job search. So you would use this particular document to capture key insights about organizations such as a company's culture, highlights if they were recently in the news, the mission or values of an organization, or any notable projects particular to the organization. And these details really help you tailor your application. So you'll write a more compelling cover letter, and you'll really stand out in the interviews knowing this information. So the goal is really to set realistic expectations, for yourself and identify opportunities that align with your personal goals and values. This tool that I'm sharing on the slide here really is most effective when you used it early in your search and reviewed or refined regularly as you progress. So I always say, students, I want to see you early and often. And this is an example, if you're a senior about to graduate this May, I'm not saying not do company research, but you might not need or have the time to really kind of get in the weeds with this particular project. So as a student at USC, you have multiple resources outside of the typical job platforms such as Handshake or Indeed. Now, I encourage you to use multiple job platforms like Handshake. But keep in mind that you can also automate a lot of these platforms and tools, and I'm going to help kind of coach you through that. But then I also want to share some additional resources that some students aren't aware of. So Parker Dewey is a platform that offers short-term professional assignments that can lead to extended opportunities. And so again, this is a single sign-on using your USC login. This is the landing page after you sign on. And here is an example of a project available over the course of 5 weeks. It is a fully remote project with a payout of $150. This is another example from the micro internships. Again, this is the Parker Dewey platform. And this is a short-term project with more hours. So this is a total of 20 hours, has a payout of $500. And the purpose here really is gaining project-based experience to help strengthen your resume. Another platform that you have access to as students at the University of South Carolina is called Interstride. This is really what I feel is an underutilized platform that not only offers opportunities, but provides support for international students seeking sponsorship. So again, this is a single sign-on that is similar to other job short search platforms. However, it provides an opportunity for international students, as you can see here, to search for companies who have sponsored in the last year or are top H-1B companies. Additionally, there is a great archive of on-demand and live webinars that are available to students as well. Here is another platform called Career Shift. Again, it's a single sign-on that pulls job postings from many different platforms like LinkedIn and Indeed and other company websites. So sometimes directly from the company. This screen here, you are reviewing examples of a search for a freelance opportunity in South Carolina. So you'll see these particular opportunities come directly from LinkedIn, Indeed, and the direct company website. And again, Career Shift is the platform that you have access to as a USC student. This next one is a few examples of keyword searches for specific industry, pulling jobs directly from company websites such as United Airlines. So a keyword search was data analytics, another one was sports media, and the third one is information science and internships. Now, I mentioned earlier Handshake as a platform here, and it can be a really useful tool that allows you to set specific filters and be notified when positions are posted that meet your criteria. So here is an example of a paid internship as a data analyst. And when I set these filters, 87 positions were found that met the criteria that I had set. Since I clicked on the button over to the left, this will now notify me via email when a new position is posted that meets the same criteria without me having to log in and search each day. So instead, I will get an email that will alert me that a new position has been posted, and therefore I don't have to search in the platform each day. Another tool that can be used is really, it's called Gamecock Grad Stats. And again, you have access to this as a student at the University of South Carolina. And this really is the only tool that allows students to see where alumni in your major have landed. So this is a result, these results come from our first destination survey that students fill out. And so you'll notice on the left-hand side, over 209 graduates, 209,000 graduates have responded to the first destination survey. And on the right-hand side, what you'll see is I narrowed it down by degree program. So I wanted to see of all the graduates, those that graduated with degrees in mass communications, who are at an executive, working at an executive level. And you will notice as a result, they are currently employed at iHeartMedia. And so I really wanted to offer some encouragement for your search. Remember, it is a marathon and not a sprint, and you really need to set aside and dedicate time consistently each week for searching and applying. Treat your search like a part-time job. Stay organized. Again, I have some tools that are available to you, like that master spreadsheet. Um, and again, keeping that updated. And then also staying consistent. Keeping in mind, once again, it's a marathon and not a sprint. Keep applying and exploring. You may have interviews, and interviews give you experience. An interview isn't going to guarantee you an offer, but it builds your confidence to get that right opportunity. So keep going, stay resilient, and trust that the right opportunity is out there for you. So I really, really, really thank you for participating. I hope you found the tips and strategies and the insights that were provided valuable to help not only refine your resume, and better showcase your skills and experiences. Remember that your resume is a living, breathing document, and it should evolve as you gain new experiences and tailor it to different opportunities. Again, your internship and job search, that is a process. Make sure that you are setting some time aside to dedicate to that process. Just as your academic pursuits are going to pay off as you graduate with a degree from the College of Information and Communication, so your efforts in your internship and job search. So if you did take some time to watch this presentation and have a few minutes, I would really appreciate if you could take a few minutes to complete the evaluation using the QR code that's showing up on your screen. I will use the student feedback on this evaluation to edit and also refine presentations for the upcoming year. So your insight and suggestions really are extremely valuable. Again, please feel free to reach out using the contact information on the screen if you would like access to not only the resume templates, but also the Excel document, which gives you the ability to track your information. Thank you all.